Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are here for To Your Eternity Season 2, Episode 10. Just to give you guys a heads up, I I am exhausted. It is actually Christmas Day right now, so happy holidays and Merry Christmas to whatever holiday you guys, or if any. Just, yeah. I hope you had a good time, regardless of what you celebrate. But, I was up very early, spent majority of today like just nonstop moving and doing things, and then I finally got home, relaxed for like an hour, and then fell asleep for only a couple hours. But even that nap wasn't enough to make me not tired. So, if basically my point is, if I'm a little loopy or if things go over my head, I miss a subtitle line or two. If anything just seems off, I apologize. I'm doing my best to not let it affect my recording, but I already missed yesterday due to other family events on Christmas Eve and everything. I just couldn't get to it. I was even more tired yesterday. Like, I probably could have, but I would have been even more exhausted, and it wouldn't have been good. I was like falling asleep in my chair. But anyway, that being said, last episode we had a new horse for Fushi, made from his own flesh. It seems like it is a separate entity that he doesn't like. I don't think he recalls it like back into his body or anything. I think it just exists now, which is pretty wild. We had him growing his power, being able to create things off of things, which once he trains that up should be pretty damn insane. And we have an ultimatum. We know where they're gonna be and when they're gonna be. We have a year to train up and get prepared, so Bon is like seems to be like looking for allies, getting prepped and everything for that attack, while Fushi goes off and trains on his own. So I'm looking forward to seeing where we go from here. Do we just watch Fushi train for this episode, or do we time skip a year and get to the big event and then see like the fruition of his training? I don't know. We'll find out. So we're gonna start here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I did put subtitles on, right? Yeah. We are good. I'm trying to drink this coffee to wake me up a little bit, but my goof of last time. Being confused at the two different times he had his forms taken somehow. I don't know how I made that mistake. In case you missed it, I was like, Fushi, after fighting the knocker in the swamp, he remembered Piorin, but then he had said these aren't the ones that took his forms, and I was like, well, wait, how do you get Piorin back if it's not the one that took his forms? But Piorin was taken during that fight in the swamp. I was really dumb. I was like, my brain was just one track. It was like, go here, get forms, and he went there. He killed the knocker, got forms. So I just like didn't even think deeper into it. But that was obviously stupid of me. Caffeine, do your thing. Resonance. Ooh, this is a form of resonance already. Fushi's gonna create an entire planet eventually. Damn. Alright, so they're taking him out, that's good. I'm actually really curious. Like, I understand the use of being able to create a ship, don't get me wrong. But it's crazy that that's, like, a year-long goal is to train to be able to, like, make a ship. Obviously, just by training to do that one thing. Sorry, I wanted to listen to this. I didn't want to accidentally talk over this and not pay attention. Yep, they called it a game last episode. That's what, like, made me, with all these lives being taken and them treating it like a game, made me be like, okay, no sympathy for these knockers. In case you guys are wondering, in case you can't see the rest of my shirt, it says, I paused my game to be here. My nephew got it for me for Christmas. Excuse me. What a face. Is this gonna help him? Awareness that it belongs to you. Just a dog and a horse. Do they have money? Does that money work? Okay, that money works there. Okay, nice. He just creates the money. That's crazy. I mean, we've known he can do it. We've seen him do it before. It's also really cool that he pretends he has the money in his hand, drops it, and it just comes out of his hand. Uh-oh, someone's hurting. Oh. Not everyone doing well in places like this. Hmm. Hmm. No. Jesus, is that just a kid? Yep. Is this his first time dealing with, like... Slavery, the discrepancy between rich and poor. Well, stay around, maybe help teach their people how to fight the knockers, and maybe you can fight back. Did the other kid... Oh, he's in front of him, okay. Damn. Oh, he did die. Damn. No. Wonder what's up with the pot. He was, like, advertising it as, like, something weird and unique, too. She's so dirty. I'm guessing that's why she looks like that, right? She's filthy. A lot like Fushi when he first, when he first started eating, he'd, like, grab things with his hands or shove his face into it because he was used to being a dog. Ugh. It's like more clay to, like, work on the pot that's inside the pot. Kid just saw some shit. Hey! No. Oh, kitty. Also teaching someone to speak, it's really reminiscent to how he used to be, right? He is now the Piorin. This is cool. Get clean, you damn kid! Oh, well, you're coming in too. Trim the hair. Oh. Oh, this is the girl from the outro. I thought it was Reen this whole time. It's this girl. She's playing with her mud. I wonder what's up with the pot. I wonder what it means. It seems like she wants... No. Maybe a little bit. And some of the people you've met have tried to control you a little bit. Oh. Oh no. He's like learning about that, like shook him to his core, the whole control people thing. I think she was less creepy when she was covered in mud. Shit. Oh, is he understanding? Whoa. Hmm. Interesting. Should use the clay plot with her. She's trying to communicate, right? I think. Hmm. Big ol' storm. Oh, just trying to catch it. Sensing everyone's emotional state. Oh. No. Cool. He's doing pretty good. Better than he could do before. Making better use of it rather than just making random things, too, right? Fushi did all this. He has become one with nature. Damn. All the ships he's tried to make. Oh! Fushi's this person from the opening. It'd be so convenient to just make whatever kind of food you want. And he can just keep going back to whatever that form is, so even if he gets fat, he can just reshape shift and it's all gone. I want that so bad. Although, if I learned my base form as it is now, I would just always default back to my fat self. Hey. Hmm. Nice. Yeah. That's wild. So which one ends up like is whatever the one his real one in like the consciousness? It's kind of crazy. I have a question. How do people of this world have a concept of teleportation? They don't even have electricity, right? How do you like? I don't know. I'll talk about it in the discussion, I guess. Hmm. Where's Echo? Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna be like, who's Echo? How foul? What? Hmm. Ah, maybe we can get her home? Oh. Just teleports to it. Oh. They were attacked by. Their people were attacked by knockers. Damn. I think Kahaku is like jealous, I guess. I don't know. She's just a kid. Yeah, what are you worried about? Okay, so half a year has passed. They might have already said that. I apologize if I missed it, but it hasn't been the full year yet. Hmm. Yeah, that'd be crazy to find more immortals. I don't even know how that would work. Nice. Well, damn. We're just searching for immortals. You'll be able to make some more soon. Once someone finally tells you that you can do it. Alright, here we are. We're getting there. That was a really good episode. I like that one. And now we know who this is at the end. I don't know why. I just assumed it was Reen and she was just like drawn different, you know? But it makes sense because everyone else seems to be drawn the same, and then only this girl, like, only Reen was drawn different. But it's not Reen, it's Echo right here with her clay pot. I still think she looks creepy, and then also, I also hope this isn't, like, hinting that she dies. But it might be. There's one shot here towards the end of the outro, I think. Where she just looks so creepy. Yeah, she shows up here. This right here, I believe. Yeah, right there, where you can see her a bit better. She just looks a little... I don't know, like... I mean, she's just a kid and everything, but the way her eyes are and everything, it's just, it certainly is creepy. She has, like, sharp teeth, I believe, too. But yeah. Anyways, guys, that is it for episode 10. Yeah, I really liked that one. That was cool. I loved Fushi being able to find and help someone that was kind of like himself. He needed that at one time to help learn how to talk. Granted, she hasn't learned how to talk yet. She almost said cat. But it's probably... if they don't have, like, if her people didn't have spoken language, if they communicated through this clay pot, which is like a really interesting concept, it's probably so much harder because I can't even imagine, like, it's already hard learning another language, and that's with us already speaking a language. But if you don't have any spoken languages, you might not even know how to form anything with your mouth, right? Like, we already know how to form some words, right? We already know how to form the words in our language. So it makes sense, like, when we're trying to form words in another language, we can kind of utilize the same principles. But if they don't talk a lot, right? If they don't really say things, then she might not even have that kind of, like, muscular control and everything to be able to, like, move her tongue in the way you need to speak. It's like something you don't really think about, but that's pretty wild. I mean, she did manage to almost say cat, but then that rest of half a year that we saw, she still hasn't really said much more than that. So either she just hasn't really tried, like, maybe they haven't tried, maybe Fushi's been too busy, but yeah, certainly an interesting thing. I like this world and all that. I'm really curious about this quest to go find immortals, because we haven't had anyone in the show have, like, powers yet, right? Like, the closest thing we've had is Kahaku with his knocker that's inside him that gave him, like, the finger tentacle powers briefly, which I think that was the knocker doing that, not necessarily him. I'm not sure. But other than that, and obviously Fushi, right? But Fushi is like a special case. But I don't think we've ever had, like, normal humans having any signs of, like, powers or whatnot. So how, like, what about immortality? Like, how does that work? I don't know. I'm curious to learn, like, if there are immortals, how are they immortals? What are they about to be introducing to the world? It makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm gonna wait and see how they do it before I really judge. If they do, I mean, maybe they're gonna search for immortals and find out that they just don't exist, right? Fushi is the only one, but who knows? But anyway, Fushi kind of, we saw him having his realization of how to control everything a little better. He utilize like vines and stuff like that all around the ship in order to get a better feel, like feeling the ship through the vines, which it looks like he was able to at least make a couple attempts that looked, because there was like 3 different ship parts there, all like merged together and all that. It was really cool. It was like a really neat little base. It kind of reminds me of like a Sea of Thieves island where there's like crash ships all over it and stuff like that. Um, and like there's some that you can like climb inside and go up some of like the parts of it and everything that are standing up. It was pretty neat. But also the fact that he can now create a body that he can transfer his consciousness to is pretty huge. And I mean, I guess if the original, like, he's still him, if the original dies, it's crazy. That's gonna be like a whole, like, you know how we've had it before where he's I guess he's come out of like the back of his body and left the body, right? Because he faked his death one time like that, I think. Or faked an escape where he like left his body behind and came out the back of it and flew off, and they thought he was still sleeping there until they realized later or something like that. I believe that's happened before, but now he can just like, instead of coming out of his body to do that, he can straight up just, if he has any part of him any distance away, he can just jump to it. Like, wherever they go next, if he leaves those vines there, and if he's just like creating vines as he walks or something, right? Like, he could potentially even be connected to this area still and like teleport back to it. And if he could just start leaving these vines that stay connected to him literally everywhere he goes, it's very possible that we could just have him teleporting all over the world eventually as he discovers it, which would be pretty nuts. Now, I said it during the reaction. I don't know. Is it an anachronism that they know about teleportation? Like, because I feel like before we had, I guess I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you can think of that kind of thing. I was just trying to think, like, before we had electricity even, were we, like, even capable of thinking up stories about, like, sci-fi things like that without any even concept of electricity? I'm not sure. But it's definitely, like, an interesting thought. Like, it really does make me think about, like, the people of the past, and like, I'd love to, I'm sure there's some information on it about what their fiction was like, right? Because I mean, we come up with fiction now that's based on things that we have no business, like, hell, even just like Star Wars and stuff like that. Like, a lot of that technology is so far out of our realm of possibility, but we also have electricity and we've been to the moon, right? Like, so the idea of space travel is possible in our minds, which then gives us the, you know, the stories that branch off from it. But like, if you had no concept of that, I wonder if there were any like sci-fi, like, I wonder when like the first like sci-fi, right, of like space or like just really high-tech science, like, I wonder when the first stuff like that was written. I don't know. It's certainly something that's hard to wrap my brain around. I have no idea. But anyway, regardless, I thought it was interesting that he knew teleportation. I was just like, huh. I just wonder where he got the teleportation idea from. But I mean, I guess it could just be an anachronism. They needed to use a word to help the audience understand what it was, so they had Bond say teleportation. But anyway, I felt bad for poor Echo's younger brother. She lost everyone in the attack from the knockers, and then, you know, and then her younger brother passed too. It's really too bad. Friggin' the people in that city, the poor people don't trust anyone that's giving handouts. They think they're just being manipulated, and then the rich people are just, taking in people that they find and selling them off as circus acts, and you know, it's always shitty when you really start to see the stuff that happens. What am I trying to say? Just like the greed of people, where like that city looks like it's thriving, yet it still has poor people. I mean, even in our world, that happens. There's people who have billions and billions of dollars, and then there's people that like genuinely are trying to just survive and can't. Like, obviously, there's some that are just trying to beg on the streets to buy drugs and stuff like that. That's not great. But the ones that are begging on the streets that genuinely just can't catch a break, right? Like, my cousin doesn't live on the streets or anything, but he's had like a really rough year. Like, he has diabetes, and if you know anything about the United States and the cost of diabetes medication, that's already like a giant hindrance for him. On top of the fact that he's been sick a couple times, and when he gets sick, his diabetes tends to flare up, and he has had to go to the ICU a few times. I can't imagine what that medical bill was. And then on top of that, he's had like several cars that he got, like, not brand new cars, but he got them like from dealerships and stuff that have had like issues and broken down and stuff. It's just, there's just been a handful of things in his life that he's just been taking L after L, and I feel so bad for him. And it's like, it just sucks that we have to like struggle through life to survive, when I feel like with all the technology and science and everything that we've developed, that we can't make a more comfortable society for everyone, right? But it's the way it is, unfortunately, and everyone's so etched in their ways of like, this is just how it has to be, that it's hard to change that whole system. But anyway, not the time and place for this. Overall, I really liked the episode. Even though it was just fun, chilling, seeing Fushi do this, take care of this kid. It was like a fun way to have his training, but also have like this new character be introduced that kept things like way more interesting than just watching him train the whole episode. So very neat. I look forward to seeing how he utilizes his newfound powers. We now know that like the vine person that we saw in the opening is Fushi, which makes sense because, as I was just saying, we don't really have like powered people in this world. So I was like, that seemed very supernatural for this world. But it was Fushi, so it makes sense that the one thing that I felt supernatural was the one character that is very supernatural in the show. So, anyways, that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to see 2 more episodes ahead of time. You can do so right now. Links are in the description below, or they should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in my future reactions. Bye-bye.